Hi, welcome to Roll for Bluff, where we discuss the ongoing events of our Bards Notable campaign. I am Sam. I usually play Calmine on our campaign. To my left, we have Tristan, who plays Soren Thunderfist. And to my right, we have Brandon, our Dungeon Master. They'll be joining me tonight as my co-hosts, as well as my fucking murderers in tonight's episode.
Diverging Destinies.
Tonight's episode started off
Whew.
just when we thought vacation was going pretty well.
It was. It went really well. It was going amazing well. You could say your vacation was a week's of fun.
A funnel of fun.
A funnel of fun.
And that funnel eventually led down the shitter.
Yeah. As
all good things come to an end.
We left off last episode with Cal, who had entered back into the simulation with Birdie, becoming possessed by Lilith.
Yay.
Who was able to take control of her body through a little black spot she had in her hand.
It's gone now.
It's been waiting around for a couple of months.
There's a good thing.
Silver linings. So Brandon,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you go on ahead and jump into things?
So, Calmine immediately was like, "Oh, this isn't good, Bertram. 911. Someone
I don't have my body anymore.
Someone has my body." Bertram responded with questions and confusion, but still checked out what was happening. But by that point, it was too late, and Lilith had made her way up to where Bertram was to question. And so I was playing Bertram and Liren and Lilith. So the juggling in my brain was happening, but I was like, you know what? Bertram's going to take a shot. Bertram's going to try his best to lie to Lilith.
How'd that go for him?
Not well.
Well, the first one was pretty good.
Yeah. He let her. He bluffed enough to make her believe he thought it was Cal, and then you can only keep the ruse up for so long.
Right.
Then vanish.
Yeah, invisibility, and she's like, counterspell.
Run away.
And then we jumped over to you, Cal, again.
Yeah.
Who had a bright idea after trying the bracelet, but being in simulation doesn't work like that.
No.
You tried.
I pulled out the journal.
And attempted to contact Azazel, which, for anyone asks, it works because the warlock link is in her consciousness, not her body.
Right.
So her consciousness still has the ability to attempt to reach out.
Right.
Which you did. You reached out, and then Azazel was like,
what do you want me to do?
I can only do so much.
Yeah.
I'm not connected to anyone else. But I give it a shot. And he alerted everyone, barely.
And we were like, all right, time to go deal with this problem.
I also contacted Dalmine using the journal.
Mama, can you hear me?
I don't have my body.
It was more like Cal knew this wasn't looking good, so she just was like, Mom, I love you. And Dalmine was like, wait.
Wait, I'm
I'm on my way.
Who, did what she could to get there as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And got there within about 10 minutes.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. Magic, man.
Spells, man.
Got there. And you guys at that point had gone into the terrarium, seen Cal, Liren had talked to you, like, we're going to make sure you're going to get your body back, don't you worry. It's going to be okay. And you went down through a corridor down below the terrarium.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys made your way through the underground and found, through good survival and Bertram's scales that he was leaving, blood.
Scales and blood.
Great tracking methods.
The new Hansel and Gretel.
It worked.
You found where they were at, and Lilith was waiting.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you guys showed up faster than I expected, but good thing you're here.
Yeah.
As Bertram was arm missing,
Mostly dead.
charred and destroyed. It was just like,
Hi,
Poor
dearies.
So Cal at this point was just like, and we wait. And we wait.
It was less cheerful than that.
Dalmine showed up tried to talk to you, but then ran past and also went down, attempted to go downstairs. By that point, what did the Stormbreakers do when you guys are in the room with the testing equipment? Books.
Well, we kind of just stood there trying not to aggravate Lilith. Because at least with some of we understand, because if Lilith is, we know that Lilith is the mother of all demons, and we already had enough issues with the avatar of Van Goo, who is just a demon. We're like, oh god, what do? We don't want to aggravate.
I don't want to make her mad.
And so, and of course, with Cal being in a specific situation, I know Soren had kind of like, all right, I'm going to take Lyran's lead here. This is her sister.
This is her forte. This is her sister. I don't want to attack.
I mean, I could hit it, but I don't know if that's what everyone would want me to do.
To which, I mean, the group threw a little bit of push from Lilith.
Right.
Had you guys find the doorway,
right.
Which Solomon tried to lie and be like, I don't understand.
She wanted us to find the orb. That was her main goal right now, was to find the orb that creates the multiple Amy's. She wanted to do stuff with that. And this is where, with the other episodes where we were talking about how, Soren made it maybe we shouldn't know for some reason. And of course, his brain's not thinking about Lilith, but it's just in case something happens, we should probably not know where it is.
Yeah, my
Whereas
brain
Cal's was let's not have Lilith get it. Good thing we didn't do it at first.
Yeah, if you would have, it would have been she's there and gone.
Yeah.
Cal might have lived, but, So
jumping ahead there.
Spoilers.
Well, you're wearing a cowboy hat. It's not spoilers. So
it's 2 episodes.
The group, figured out the correct alchemical formula to do it after Solomon tried to lie, and Lilith was like, "Oh, that's not very good. Let me just show you what happens if you
circle of death."
And so Bertram dead,
died.
Well, near dead. He had to roll for it, but.
Essence start to take out.
And she took the essence out and was like, okay, do what I say or I'm going to kill him. To which everyone was like, fine.
And
stupid bird.
Don't kill the helpful NPC. Shit.
And I figure this is where, as we're doing this, we're kind of buying our time to put ourselves in a better position, get someone like Bertram out of the way. And put other people not in, in the line of danger. And that was our kind of, I think, goal. At least in Soren's head. It's
get at least as little people as possible murdered.
Yes, exactly.
You were mildly successful.
Yeah. You, after, discovering the way down, further on, you went down. Everyone except for Solomon, who stayed with Bertram.
Because once we found the door that opened it up, she did return his essence. It was there.
I can be reasonable.
So Solomon's like, screw you guys, I'm going to stay here and help Bertram. Was like, okay, bud.
All right, good luck. As you guys went down, you found the room Amy was in.
Yes.
She was like, oh, I don't want to, we can't open this door. Let me just rewrite these runes real quick.
Mother of demons.
Man.
And unlock the door.
And right about that time is when Dalmine had run into the room that we were in, found Solomon and Bertram. Was like, where is she? And Solomon's like, who are you, lady? Get the heck out of here. I don't care about you. And she's
Dalmine's like, boy.
Where is my daughter? Where is she?
I have no time for this. And then he's like, are you coming? And he was like, no, I'm going to stay here. And she's like, I'm different.
He's like, you suck. And then runs off. And he's like, well, fine. I guess if you're going to be mean about it, I'll go.
I don't want to suck. So Bertram was alive, and, conscious and doing things. And,
he was hurt.
I'm going to leave. Don't you worry.
I'm just going to crawl out of here.
So you made it way down there.
Mm-hmm.
You then, opened the door.
Amy's like,
hi guys, what's up? Why are you here?
And Soren stalled, but so we're not here for good thing. And she starts hiding away the orb.
And was like, oh, no. To which Solomon,
who was like, I got an idea.
Banishment.
Amy.
Amy's gone. To which Lilith did not like that at all.
Nope. And
that's initiative.
Yeah.
But this is, again, it plays into the fact that we were trying to create as less casualties as possible. Bertram was alive and out of the way. Amy is now banished for the combat, so she's out of the way.
Yeah.
And we had some time to deal with that. Unfortunately, as we found out during the combat, she didn't get a chance to lock the orb up.
Yeah, no, because I said she just put it in there.
And she started to close the lid, and he was like, "Banish."
Boy.
So, combat went, I mean, it was pretty half and half. If she had more health, if she wasn't in Calline's body.
Yeah.
That would have been a little worse for you guys, but you guys had that little bit of an advantage.
Right. Well, against things we could have, like a cleric who does radiant damage. We had Dalmine who had come down with him as well.
It was
magic.
Like 6-on-1. And,
yeah. So it was definitely and we were also in like a tiny room, so it wasn't like they'd be like, "Oh, you can't get me." It was like, okay, we're all right here. We're either going to hit you or you're all getting. And
combat went, I mean, pretty well from that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got people being like, "Well, all right, I'm near dead. Let's not do this anymore."
But there was some really well played things. Like, for example, Lilith did reverse gravity, and Morena was smart and saw that, and she was like, "Featherfall." When
We're gonna have that
Yeah.
reaction ready.
Like, she was ready for that, which was really smart, because you had players who were like 20 feet above the ground who were going to fall down. So there were some really smart things going on, which was really helpful. And again, we have like someone like Liren who has a very specific sword that's made for attacking demons.
Yeah.
She's Liam Neeson.
Liren Neeson.
Liren Neeson.
God.
After everyone was just like fighting, my plan as Lilith was to do 2 rounds, see who she could take out, and after 2 rounds she had time stop. So she was going to time stop and go, "Okay, the orb is mine. I'm just going to walk away. No one can stop me," and then leave. And then Cal's body you would have found her upstairs. So, but somebody who was playing Liren in combat did what Liren would have done.
So Hannah, who plays Liren, was not here for this episode. So since Cal couldn't really do anything, I played Liren in combat. He did the RP, and we kind of knew that there was a possibility that things might happen during this episode that the DM had cleared with Hannah. So when I was playing Liren in combat, I went with that. And one of those things was killing Cal to stop Lilith.
With the sword that
the sword that does extra damage to demons.
Yeah, and what happened?
So Liren made the final blow on it, and Cal's body just begun to disintegrate into
Dust.
fucking nowhere.
Think of Endgame.
Yeah. So I mean, from like a player standpoint, like I know there was other things that I could have done, but I think how it would have been in the moment for the characters, I think that
we have to kill Lilith.
Yeah. I don't think that there would have.
Yeah, well, because I imagine, like, because as players, you're sitting there going, like, okay, maybe there's some weird loophole. Like, well, this isn't technically. This is killing
one of those moments,
Lilith's soul, not Cal's body.
It's one of those moments where you're separating yourself from your character, and you're like, I mean, I could use this spell, or I could do what Liren would actually do, or and.
You'd be mostly correct on that if the sword didn't have a line of, text saying if you had tiefling born of a high demon comes in contact.
I know.
Yeah. That was just a twofold of like disapparating part of Lilith's soul and disintegrating Calmine's body.
Yeah. So Calmine's body disintegrated, and Lilith was gone. But Calmine's mind was still stuck in the simulation.
Yes. It was pretty much downloaded.
Yeah, more or less. Bertram was kind of keeping the simulation going.
Because Bertram, showed up. He was like, "I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here to make sure you're safe and
locking
okay."
down. Doop.
Yeah.
Character locked.
Pretty much. It's if Bertram didn't make it, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So
we made a good decision as far as making sure he stayed alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Cal was still technically alive if you count consciousness as life.
Right. So, that happened. You wound up picking up all Cal's stuff. Dalmine freaked out.
as one would.
As a mother who just watched her only child poof.
Amy popped back into existence and was like, what happened?
What happened?
And we're like, well, good news and bad news.
Good news is the orb is still here. The bad news is Cal's dead.
Yeah. So eventually, I think people started going back upstairs, and as
Tyrell
they did,
showed up at the bottom and he was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, we tried to stop everything bad from happening.
Ah! And then you all went upstairs. Cal learned the sad news.
Yeah.
Her body's gone.
Yeah.
And then came the long conversation of what do we do now, which I think we can kind of fast track to the ultimate decision that was made.
Yes. Multiple paths were opened, and they decided to go down a particular path, which was?
So they had decided to put Cal's mind into a Warforged.
One Bertram was working on.
That Bertram was working on. And I, as a player, made the decision to have Cal decide that instead of traveling with the group any longer, she was going to go with Bertram and search for her physical body to try to get it back. This meant for me playing a new character.
Which is good.
Yeah.
So that session pretty much ended with everyone being like, ah. Calmine got put into her new body. Azazel formatted the ring to look like Cal.
So though it's a Warforged, it's a Warforged that has an illusion of Cal on top of it.
Right.
They made it so the Warforged, though, could get inebriated. Just the tiny bit of tweaks, and then also your connection to Azazel is through the Warforged body.
Right.
Right.
So, which is good.
Yeah.
Then, everyone was trying to relax and stuff, and Renner was like, I gotta take a walk. I'm gonna take a walk.
Yeah, because we're all trying to take in this whole situation because it's a rough situation. Like, we're thankful that Cal's technically not dead, but she's kind of dead.
And she's leaving.
She's leaving to go. Because as we talk about, like especially with Sam, the Cal would not want to be a Warforged. She'd be like, nope, my next goal is to.
I hate this.
Yeah, Cal losing her body was like just losing who she was in a lot of ways. So that just didn't feel right to continue to play her. But it does give me the opportunity to later on down the line possibly play her again.
Right.
So it was sad, but it wasn't necessarily the end.
It was more of a end of the chapter.
Yes.
Right.
And then we switched perspectives on a different chapter.
Right.
And that chapter's name is what?
Chester Chet Boone Hartley.
So what happens is Miranda goes for that walk, and she hears out in the background, rain doers,
cloud killers,
like
and Miranda's
all
like
weird knockoff versions of Stormbreakers. Miranda's like, Stormbreakers? He's like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
And she was like, how and why?
I'm with the post box. I mean the mailman. I mean the postmaster general.
Postman?
The postman. That's them.
Oh boy. Miranda did a thing that, Miranda being Miranda and Nancy playing Miranda as I figured she would. Miranda being like, well, all right, come on.
If it had been I think just about any other PC, there would have been that level of suspicion. But because it's Nancy / Miranda, she's like, okay, all right, come with me.
Let's go find the important Stormbreakers who are near death.
Real easy.
To which, as they return, Solomon stops them and starts giving Chet a really hard time. Like, what do you want? What are you doing? What are you doing? How are we doing? And he was just like, I'm not afraid, you boy. I got a job here to do. I got a note and everything. And then so that Solomon was like, okay.
Yeah. And then it was revealed, that this note was from Marshall,
right,
who was Chet's cousin.
And everyone was like,
ugh. Everybody's like,
right, because Chet gave Sorn the note to read.
Solomon
it
spoke out loud.
Yeah, well, Solomon had called Sorn over because, of course, currently it's like Sorn is dad.
Sorn's dad. Mom's gone.
Yeah, mom's gone. Dad,
mom's on vacation.
Long vacation.
It's a separation.
I
We don't know if it's permanent yet.
They're taking a break.
Yeah. So Soren listens to the note, and
It says out loud to everyone.
Yeah. And
Pretty much, it's Marshall's way of backhanding Chet and being like, "You keep him alive. That's 2 out of 3 favors. Don't worry about it."
Right. So Soren returns and goes, guys, this is Chet. He's with us now."
Yeah.
And he explains everything to the group. It's like, yeah, Marshall's involved, favors, blah, blah, blah,
So,
blah, blah.
before we get too far into this,
Yes.
So I had made Chet back when we were I think level 7.
Hey, we're getting ready to fight Yangu.
Yeah, it was right before Yangu, and I was
Preparing for the ultimate death.
I need a backup character to play tonight if something goes wrong. So I made Chet a couple levels ago, and ever since then, Chet's story has just sort of grown and then kind of intertwined in certain ways, and so yeah, I was ready to play him when it came time.
So give a quick description of what Chet is.
So for all intents and purposes, Chet's a cowboy. He's, got the cowboy hat, got the chaps. He's got a little snake familiar that's wrapped around his neck.
He is human.
He is a human.
He is the first human in the Stormbreaker.
You finally have a face that isn't some
Horrifying.
sort of different.
Yep, and he is a wizard.
And he's a wizard.
So he's kind of an interesting character.
What's his favorite food?
Chili.
What
He's
is
got
it?
a pouch of chili on his belt.
See, and this is one of those fun things where, since Sam, you and I spend so much time together, being married.
Whoa, we're married? Oh my god, hang on.
Oh no, it's happening!
This is a dream.
Because you and I have been, like you said, you've made Chet, since level 7 about.
Right.
You and I have done nothing but talk about Chet a lot outside.
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff.
and a lot of it's been teasing Brandon you ready for
You're
Chet?
ready for Chet because you and I have because I've heard more of the lore. You and I have gone back and forth. I mean, hell, you're wearing even the hat. It was just like, all right, here you go, Sam. Here's one of my old hats. You can just play it up real much so in these things. So it's been real fun to see, because even with these short sessions, and I know we've discussed this before, it's really interesting to see this character come to light rather than us just making fun of Brandon. Like, Chet, you ready for a good old Chet? And you're like, oh no.
Yep. I'm sure ready for Chet. Are you ready for the Dungeon Master? I don't want to play Chet
Everything
anymore.
comes with a price.
but yeah, it's one of those things where we're gonna see this development of Chet being a layered, he's just as layered as Cal in a lot of ways, but not in the same degree. They're different. It's like layers of a chocolate cake and a layer of a rum cake that's been overdosed in rum, which was Cal.
Yeah, which was Cal.
So
Chet's the chocolate cake.
Chet's the chocolate cake with his own layers of his own things that we're here to learn about. It's that I think a little bit of that. Revigoration of a new character to learn about, as other players
New
to see,
lore.
new lore, new personality traits, new things.
spells.
I mean, because there's things I just as a player, I can be like, oh yeah, Soren's gonna get a kick out of because we've seen in some of these chat going damn, that's cool. There's just random things damn, that's neat.
Chet's new catchphrase. Damn, that's cool.
And whereas Soren was very similar with usually when we run into an animal, if it's unique, he's like, oh, it's so cool.
So with Chet's very friendly. He's very forward and very happy. Very different than Cal. So he's trying to be nice to the group.
He's heard stories.
And, has heard some stories about you guys, and
Right.
it's not
All
all of
true.
them all true. Most of them true. Maybe 60% true.
The base is true.
One of the words in there might be true.
That word might be murder.
Right?
So the group, began to let Chet in, and that's pretty much where we ended the first half of this talk, and then we began the second one, where I had taken Cal, and you had solely been in charge of Chet.
Yeah.
Right. So first session of the new year, Sam is all Chet all the time.
Kinda, ma'am. My ma'am.
Y'all better get used to that.
Yep. So the group was like, okay, we're here in the simulation. We have the ability. Cal had wrote a letter to Devin.
Yes.
And was
That
like,
she
I'm gonna
given to
go.
Soren.
I'm gonna go learn some things about the Warforged body and get ready. We're gonna leave tomorrow. And the group was like, well, then we're gonna leave too. We don't want to be here
we
without
don't
you.
need to stick
Right.
around without you.
So, but the group decided to, instead of giving Chet the rundown,
They decided to show him the rundown using
We're
the
in a
simulation,
simulation.
which worked out great.
Right. They hooked Soren up to it because he was there present for most of
But right before that, I forgot. Fox showed up.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
The quick
that's
thing.
right.
I'll give you the quick. Fox showed up and was like, "Hey guys, thanks for killing doing that thing against Lilith. It actually is really cool for me." And the rest of the group is like, "Wait."
Right, because he's like, I wish you'd let her gotten the orb. 'Cause she
Yeah.
would have given it to me.
But you did, Dan. You did good. You did it good for
You
me.
did something.
Hi, Chet. Welcome. I'm your business partner.
Your overseer.
And Chet was super friendly.
Because he doesn't have any context. That's right, because this happened before the simulation. So he's just like, all right, boy, all right,
You're
cool.
really nice because no one else said anything mean about you. And then Fox was like, "Yep." Walked over to Liren and like looked at Liren real close,
Almost like a
intently.
concerned friend or something.
and then left.
At which point, after he left, Cal, as me,
Area of protection.
popped the area of protection against good and evil, specifically fiends, and admitted to the group that when they had been traveling to see the White Talon, Fox had pulled her aside and said, "I'm not a tiefling.
Right, and
And
he kind of
I
explored that.
I don't have long. I'm not a tiefling. I need your help." And basically it said, "But don't tell anybody." So Cal wanted to make sure that piece of information got passed along.
Right, so there's that little, like, spark of, like, okay, he's not a tiefling, and it seems that he's actually not really happy about working with Lilith. There's more going on here than we
Let's say,
really thought.
Hold on, is he a bad guy? Are we bad guys? Is she the bad guy? What's happening?
What is life existence page?
Is
So-
Baba the bad guy?
Baba's always been the bad guy. We know this.
Baba is the end game.
Yeah.
He's the BB.
So, you guys, put Soren in the simulation. Cal had left, and then you watched through Soren's eyes everything from the humble beginnings all the way to now.
Right. So then Chet definitely goes, okay, Fox has been a bit of a dick. Okay, got
Chet
it.
also was like, "It's okay to cry, man. Your dad just died. That's real sad."
Yeah, it's one of those things where time is always hard to comprehend sometimes. Because, like, for
Right.
Soren, his dad died, like, a week ago. Or
about 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's right. It's only been, like, 2 weeks. That's one paycheck from your parent dying. It's like, And that's just, like, time in D&D.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still coping with it. You're just not
Whereas-
angry coping with it. You're just like, okay, we gotta do what you can.
Right, where it's been, like, several months as far as real-life playtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Chet's very friendly, trying to he's really trying to connect with the group. We can see why Marshall would be like, "Get the hell out of my house." But I mean, it's one of those things where he'll fit probably pretty well with the Stormbreakers as far as that kind of personality. It's like, people hate you because you're weird. Cool.
I'm
So
weird
do-
too. Look at my chili pouch. So the group, had some get to know Chet moments, and then prepared to, everyone rested and prepared to leave. Then the morning came and it was
But overnight, Morena
yes.
had quite an unpleasant dream in which she was back in, what was it, like a cell that she had been locked in before?
And he was back in the compound where she was
Yeah.
being held in Ubrin's study.
And
which is the mind flayer that.
and she saw
Uthrin.
Ubrin with a map of the known world and what was it, like a glass moving over towards where we were located.
Right.
Chris Manor was like, ah!
I woke up and was like, guys, we got a problem.
Gotta leave right now.
And we're like,
Yeah.
explain. And this is where Chet shows a lot of his good things. Because
Yeah.
this is where you did.
So first I did
detect
magic, and then I did dispel magic to
Right.
get rid of
The
to try to get
detect
rid of the
showed us
scry.
that she had scribe on her.
Yeah.
There's a scry on her. Bing.
And we're
Ubrin
like,
was like, I'm watching you.
that's not good. And Chet was like, hold
Chet's
on.
like, hold up. I'm preparing my spells. Let me get this ready.
And then flick.
Yeah.
All right, we don't
No
have much
more
time.
scry.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
To which everyone said their heartfelt goodbyes.
To
We learned a
Cal.
side fun note that Solomon was 16.
Yes.
Yeah. That's going to
Yeah.
be fun later.
Everyone's age was displayed, and
Yeah.
people had
Most people are, around 30.
Solomon 16.
Because shifters age differently.
He
Yeah.
matured a couple years ago.
Because they matured about 10 is when they were considered quote
So
unquote
yeah, he's
adults.
had 6 years of being an adult, but to everyone else, he's like, "Oh,
You're still 16.
You can't even drive a carriage, and we let you drive the boat."
We let you drink. Oh no.
So
Yeah, no joke.
so the group said goodbye to Cal as they went off. Dalmine, Bertram, and Cal all went into the woods to go speak with the dryads to see if they could know anything.
Right.
Being so magical and whatnot.
The group talked to Tyrell one last time. Tyrell was like, hey, next time you come back, let's not do anything like this again. You're welcome back, though.
Yeah, we'll try real hard.
See ya.
Can't make any promises for our DM, though.
So you guys left, and Liren gave Chet twice over of how the engine and the crystals work. The first time
we went back to the,
he was like,
sky
damn,
jumper.
cool.
Or the
Cloud jumper.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
Damn, that's cool.
And didn't
He's
hear
just like
anything.
looking at all like the crystals and everything, like, oh man, look at all these arcana. Oh shit.
And then
So much magic.
Liren was like, did you catch any of that? And he was like,
No.
one more time.
One more time.
So
But it should be noted that as dumb as he comes off of, Chet has
He's the highest intelligence in the group.
Yes, there's a reason he's a wizard.
A good wizard.
He is very book smart, but just more street dumb.
He's got things going on in his brain.
Yes.
He's got plans. He's just Chet. It's the best way to put that.
He's just Chet.
Good
So
old Chet.
you guys took off.
Yes.
Chet, Solomon couldn't fully figure out how to do
Right. So Chet was like, let me give this a try, and also couldn't figure out how to do it. So they were like, let's do it together! With your wisdom and my intelligence, we should be able to fly this fucking thing.
that. And then Warren took
At one
off.
point, Sword's like, you guys want me to do it? Because right now,
Not much chance.
I gotta be honest, I was straight rolling shit.
yeah.
I was rolling like
I couldn't
2s and
believe,
3s.
like-
Every time Nancy was looking over at my roll, she was like, again. I'm like, I know.
So
This
you
is bad.
eventually took off and headed west.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not east, but west. You had the world was open to you, and you went west.
Yes.
So
I'd
you,
much rather land in water than the middle of nowhere.
which I get. There's no judgment on that sound reasoning, but I can
want a
judge
little
you for
sign
anything
that
else.
pops up right here that says judgment.
I think Solomon just wanted to go home, seeing how he's from the other continent.
Yes, and he had every opportunity to be like, "Let's go see my house. Let's go home for a bit."
If he had said that, that would have changed things.
But he didn't,
No.
and
No.
Soren wasn't thinking about that.
No.
So,
And Chet's too new to have an opinion.
Yeah.
so he, everyone, settled in. Miranda was, everyone was flying and everything. There was a storm on the horizon.
Yes.
Individuals were relaxing and spending time together. Soren had talked to Chet and be like, all right, what's your end game?
No, not really. It's more like he asked me if I wanted magic items.
Yeah, it was like
Liren
Liren
talked
asked
to
him about
Chet
Jane.
and was
Soren
like,
was like, all right, but I don't mean this in a mean way, but you don't look like much of a fighter. And you're like, I mean, I'm a wizard. I was like, someone takes an arrow at you. Would you like a pair of magic gloves? You want me to give you an extra? No, let me finish. Would you like some magic gloves? Just give me the magic item. Okay, fine.
Fine.
I said like 3 times, like, yeah, I'll take them.
I know.
It should be noted that the night before, we forgot this, that Solomon tried and succeeded
Yeah.
in infiltrating Chet's brain.
Yes, so
Yeah.
we did forget this. So while he cast Dream on Chet while
The
he
last
was
night
asleep,
they were there
and
with Chet.
in the dream took the form of Marshall, which interesting call.
Bold
How
move, Cotton.
Solomon
Let's see how it
has
plays
never met him.
And this is why I said my rolls were shit, because Chet's insight rolls on this were just garbo.
He just believed that Marshall was kind of acting on.
Which is fine. It made it freaking
Made it
hilarious.
Because
it made it feel like a dream.
it made me feel like a dream because, one, as soon as she's like, I look like Marshall, I was like, I want to hear this accent. I want to hear
Right.
how Solomon does Marshall's voice and how he gets that southern drawl. And it was an approximation.
It was pretty good. He did better than that.
For hearing clips of it
Yeah.
during like Soren's memory thing, then hey, there you go, close
It
enough.
was close enough, and in a dream, Chet was like, I guess that's fair. That's feasible.
Yeah.
This is a dream.
But Solomon was trying to be Marshall to get Chet to admit to him in a dream that Chet was there to do harm to them. Basically, was what it came down to.
and it was definitely an interesting tactic.
The bold
I think.
move.
Interesting
It's a bold
tactic,
move,
but
Cotton.
he picked a person that he had no knowledge firsthand about, and it only paid off because
Chet was rolling like
rolls were
crap.
garbage.
So,
He got lucky as fuck.
he let Chet know, like, your allegiance lies with me. If anything goes wrong, take care of him, which I want to see how that pans out. But also, learned that Chet had no intention of doing anything
Right.
Wrong.
It was like I wanted. He was like, "Are you going to kill him?" And Chet was kind of like,
Why would I do that?
"No, I don't. I'm a pacifist. I don't
Yeah, I
wanna hurt
remember
nobody."
I remember Marshall at one point was like, "Where do your allegiances lie?" And Chet was like, "With Nana."
God.
Which, yeah, as with each session, we learned as far as Chet's life goes, it goes Marshall, his deity of
Corrallin got a magic.
and then Nana is
Nana
is the
Wait, hold
top
on.
authority.
Marshall, Corrallin, Nana's chili.
Nana. Nana is the ultimate authority to
On
Chet.
Chet's life.
Basically.
Which is cool. I like
Love
that.
my Nana.
We're going to have to meet Nana, and it's going to be great.
Yes, it'd be wonderful.
That would be wonderful.
It'd
I'm
be-
sure
it'd be great.
nothing horrible would happen.
You know, just stay tuned with us to see when that happens.
D&D.
So, you guys talk to him, and that while this is happening, Moreno's like, puppet, 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 puppet. And Solomon,
Because
after
that's
putting
what
it on,
our Uberon said. Is like, I
Uber
found
was
you
like,
my
I
puppet."
found you my puppet. And she was like, puppet, puppet, what does that mean? And then Solomon, who had just heard puppet, was like, you want a puppet show? And Moreno was like, I guess. That's not what I was taught. He's like, I'll make a puppet, don't you worry. And like,
Puts the
just
ship on cruise control and goes.
ignored what Moreno was like, I that's not really, I mean, I guess I'll go for one. And didn't make context clues. And made a pretty
successful
It was an
marionette.
okay marionette of Cal, but
That was
when he
where
rolled
it-
performance, he rolled a 2. So,
to which everybody was like,
hey, I'm Cal. Hey, I like drinking booze. Hey.
No.
And everyone, like, immediately that's when, Chet,
That's
Liren,
when-
Soren all came up from from
Just
underneath.
Moreno watching Solomon with this cow puppet. Hey, I'm Cal. I drink whiskey.
I like to stab people, say so. And then everyone was like, what is happening? Liren not taking
Liren's
kind
not
to it.
happy.
No.
It was like, you will never do that again. Give me the puppet. Why did you make a puppet? Because she taught about a puppet. And then Moreno was like, that's not what I was talking about.
And she kind of explained, and this is where the whole philosophical conversation came in. We're
Right.
trying to figure out what it could mean, how he even Uberon even found.
How Morena got her magic.
right,
Yeah.
To which Chet was like, this is interesting. I'm in.
Damn
this
it.
is like a mental puzzle.
right.
Just damn it.
So then Chet and Liren were like going back and forth with Big Brain trying to formulate a theory.
Liam with a 19 and Chet with a 20.
Yeah.
Having an understanding of the arcane.
And around the end of the conversation is when the storm starts to roll in.
To which Solomon's like, well, I gotta go. Solomon was, they were speaking about all this through the through Liren's bracelet. So Solomon, who was driving, so you didn't go like, wee. Everyone would be in the loop. And it came to the conclusion that as long as she was conscious
Or
in her body,
yeah,
Right,
she would be able to mostly protect from Ubrin's gaze.
right.
right.
So that's when you guys were all having a grand old time. Solomon whiffed a perception check.
Oh yeah.
Not saying Solomon's fault. The dice were apparently
Yeah,
like,
the dice were not in our favor
Yeah.
these last two sessions, it seems.
so in a bright flash of electricity and flame, they all look out to the center of the deck where an arc-like phoenix had landed and shocked the deck, because when it lands it takes damage but also burns whatever it's on.
Chet's immediately like, damn, that's cool.
And then a harpy started to fly around the boat.
Yeah.
And
And
everyone
from
was like,
underneath.
everyone was like, what's happening? Why is this going on? What is happening? And everyone...
Captain, my captain.
and that's where the session ended.
Yeah, that's where we kind of ended things off. So when we jump back into it next week, it'll be or tomorrow. It'll be an interesting start off to the.
See who goes
It'll
what
be
does
a
what.
full-blown post-Cal episode. Like,
Yeah.
no involvement
Yeah.
of her. It's Chet.
Gone.
Yeah,
And-
you did give me an opportunity during the stream when we were live to kind of say a piece. I didn't really take it, but I will miss Cal. I would love to play her again, but I am happy that I get to play Chet.
Shit. God dang Chet.
I think some of this comes down to with you being both a writer and a DM yourself. This is where you recognize that sometimes characters need to leave. Like, this is why you weren't like, I think why you weren't fighting like, okay, I will play Cal as a Warforged with the group, and it'll be weird for. It was like, okay, for this character and the story, it makes the most sense, and I think that's what your experiences as a writer and a DM, it plays into that, which is I think would help softens the blow a little bit. Because you have that mindset of understanding these kind of things,
right,
or rationalizing them, have you? Whereas maybe someone like me would have a harder time dealing with it. Because as we've seen with the battle with Yengu, I'm very connected to Soren, where it might be a little bit tougher for me. Like, oh no, it'd like be a real struggle. Whereas it was probably still a struggle. But
mental preparedness.
Yeah, I think you were more mentally prepared for some
and
of
I think that's because for like the last 3 or 4 levels now, I've been telling myself, Cal's gonna die, Cal's gonna die. This is where Cal dies, Cal's gonna bite the dust. Oh, who's gonna kill, who's gonna try to kill? And she's been getting really lucky.
Oh, yes.
And doing really, really well. So honestly, I think part of it was the mental preparation. I think another part of it is, having the DM experience and being like, this is part of the game. Like,
right.
Character death is a thing that happens. And third, I did get lucky as a player. You were very gracious not to just completely and totally permadeath Cal. Not everybody gets that opportunity.
Right.
Because of where you were. If you weren't in the simulation and you didn't want to do that and you were doing something else and you took over, that would have been it. That would have been game over, man.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit of a perfect storm, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have any control over what you did. I knew when I was going to activate.
It's those contingency plans of like 1,000 different things can happen leading up to this point.
Right.
And it's kind of like, Doctor Strange thing of like all the different possibilities. It's like, okay, there's 3 of these out of the 100 that where Cal can somehow survive.
And you got lucky and that was one of them.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, this changes things for her, and when and if she comes back.
Ooh, yes, because we should mention that note a little bit more.
I'm not going to talk about
We're going to talk about the note whenever Devin reads
We'll talk about the note that Cal wrote to Devin when Devin gets there. But for right now, we're officially saying goodbye to Cal.
For now.
Hopefully sometime not in the too distant future we can say hello to her again. But goodbye, Cal, and howdy.
Howdy, my man.
So we will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you so much for watching. By the way, just starting off 2020, thank you so much for, watching and supporting us from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciate it. And we're going to try and strive this year to accelerate things and to, get a lot of growth, but also provide better quality content for you guys, because ultimately we want you guys to have just as much fun as we're having doing this. Yes. So thanks again. Hope you all had a wonderful holidays and a happy new year, and we will see you tomorrow night.
Bye.